You know guys, before I start today's video, I just need to let you guys know that currently by the time you guys are watching today's video, the SCAD Master is on vacation. I went up north to visit some family, and I won't be back at my setup until around January 3rd. So today's video is recorded in advance, and if I remember to, hopefully the next few videos are also just to keep you guys occupied for the next few days or weeks. And I know Christmas is just around the corner, guys, but the SCAD Master doesn't really need any special gifts because I already got the greatest one that I could possibly have, aside from subscribers, of course. And that would be the fact that, once again, the SCAD Master's fucking right about Call of Duty, about Modern Warfare 2019 Part 3, and to the people who have been crying in the comments, all of you gooch lickers that are like, stop complaining about Call of Duty, you're just hating for views. You don't actually care about the game, you're all about the money. Yeah, today's news, it's gonna... it'll be a nice one, guys. It's always a good time when you prove the gooch lickers wrong, and sometimes it's good when I'm right, but the fact of the matter is, I don't like being right about Call of Duty, because if I'm right about something in COD, then that means there's something bad going on. And I know a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about this, so here it is, guys. This comes out from Charlie Intel. He says, breaking, Call of Duty 2025 is reportedly set to be a direct sequel to Black Ops 2 set in the near future of 2030. It'll reportedly have a mix of new multiplayer maps and remastered BO2 maps. I'll talk about that very soon. It'll also have updates to movement, pick 10, and round-based zombies maps. And I'll talk very soon about that as well. And just to push it even further, he also says, based on the latest rumors, the Call of Duty schedule looks like this. Call of Duty 2024, new Treyarch game, Black Ops title set in Gulf War era. COD 2025 is going to be a sequel to Black Ops 2 set in 2030. Will have a mix of new and remastered BO2 maps. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, this is actually good news. Like, back-to-back Treyarch games after back-to-back, essentially Infinity Ward Modern Warfare games is just what we need to wash our mouths out with this dog shit horrible taste that this franchise has given us with the last, honestly, 5 fucking games in a row. 2019, you guys know my thoughts on it. Dog shit, started the horrible dark ages of COD that we're in currently. Microtransactions, seasonal content, no prestiging, hackers and cheaters everywhere, thick ass SBMM, the list goes on and on. Black Ops Cold War was at best. Then we had Vanguard, dog shit, MW 2019 Part 2, dog shit, and then we have MW 2019 Part 3, which, look, I mean, it's holding its own weight, sort of, maybe, if we're being generous, but if we're being completely honest, I think what's carrying this game is the fact that it's just a patched version of last year's game. And so some people have this false sense of hope that Sledgehammer's saving Call of Duty with this game when we could have just had this game had it not been for Infinity Ward being a bunch of fucking morons. So yeah, back-to-back Treyarch titles, it sounds good on paper so far, but there was something very interesting about this that I felt like we needed to go a little bit more in depth into, especially when it comes to people crying and complaining that I'm complaining too much or hating too much or any of these other rant channels are just doing it for views. Check it out, this comes out from Charlie Intel. He says, Insider Gaming reports that Call of Duty 2025 was supposed to have all Black Ops 2 multiplayer maps remastered at launch, but based on feedback with MW 2019 Part 3 having no original maps day one, Activision intends to offer some remasters and some new maps at launch. So what do you guys think I'm about to say right now? I'll give you guys a second. I know the gooch lickers might need a few minutes, maybe a few hours because they're fucking slow, but I just find it funny that back before this game even came out, the SCAD Master was one of few people that was actually not content with the fact that we were getting only remastered maps at launch and no original content day one. It seemed to be a very unpopular opinion, at least here on YouTube and Twitter. I mean, the comments section and some of the replies under other tweets, people were crying about, oh, you're just hating to hate. I wonder how much people are gonna hate now that we're getting remastered maps. Oh, you guys find the smallest things to cry over. Yeah. And then a couple of weeks later after launch, I was fucking right. People were complaining about how stale the game was, it was getting boring, Season 1 wasn't as packed as people wanted it to be, and people started realizing that, hey, you know what, remastered maps are cool and all of these MW2 maps are pretty good for the most part, but where's the original maps? Because this game's starting to get old really fast. And lo and behold, The Scadmaster was one of few, like I said, that was actually making videos and content talking about this, and people were doubting the Scadmaster, that I was gonna be wrong about this, but guess what, guys? You know what the saying is here on the channel. Never wrong, just early. And I mean, it's kind of weird that Activision's the one that's considering the feedback, but I don't give a fuck who receives it, as long as something's being done about it. So to the gooch lickers that tell me to stop complaining, let me tell you right now, I don't give a flying fuck. This is what we do on the channel. We provide feedback. I don't give a fuck the way it sounds, okay? I don't care about that. I could have said it as gentle and as calming as some of these other content creators. Oh, Activision Sledgehammer, do you mind if we get a few new maps at launch, please? Get that fucking shit out of here, man. Activision, Sledgehammer Games, whoever the fuck else listens, get off your lazy, useless ass, stop harassing women in the workplace, and get to fucking work. This is why you get paid. This is why we buy your products. You're a AAA development studio with AAA publishing behind it, AAA franchise, AAA titled games. We expect quality and quantity, not just one or the other, including original maps. The fuck is this shit? Why do we settle for less? Why do we just accept all remastered maps and no original content at launch and then justify it by saying, oh, but look at these remastered maps from MW2, how could you possibly complain? When you think like that and you say and blurt out stupid babbling shit like that, you're settling for less. You're literally bowing down to Activision, and now, weeks and months later, who are you bowing down to? The fucking Scatmaster. So either devour my scat and shut the flying fuck up, or there is no alternative, still shut the fuck up and listen. When I complain, it's because I know it's gonna be a problem. I've been playing Call of Duty long enough to identify these things like the back of my hand. The moment I heard no original content at launch, the only thing that popped up in my mind was, you know what? The honeymoon phase might be real cool because it's remastered maps, but people are gonna get bored. And that is exactly what happened. So Gooch Lickers spewing out this shit about me crying for views and all that, it's ironic how goofy you guys look right now. Activision, your fucking daddies, are the ones considering the feedback that I, along with many other people, had. And I'm not saying that Activision listened to my video, I'm not saying Sledgehammer developers watched my video. If they're smart, they absolutely wouldn't, because all I do is talk shit. But when the Scadmaster and all these other rant channels make videos about it and get people talking about it, whether or not people even agree with it, as long as they're talking about it, eventually, some way, somehow, it's gonna trickle down to the developers and maybe to Activision, and it looks like that's exactly what happened. So no, I'm not taking credit for this, but to the people who ridiculed the Scadmaster for it back in the past, yeah, shut the fuck up. Now guys, there is something else to this. There's always a second side. Like I've said in the past multiple times, anytime there's any sort of good news, there's always bad news attached to it. As much as I'm a fan of Treyarch games and the Black Ops series with the exception of Cold War, a direct sequel to Cold War called Gulf War, not only does that sound not that good to me, but the fact that this had 4 years of development, which initially sounds really good, it just leaves me wondering, why can't we just have the remastered maps from 2025 into 2024? Does that make sense to you guys? Because if I'm not mistaken, this is still set in the Black Ops universe, so why wouldn't we just have the remastered maps that are originally supposed to be in 2025 in 2024? If they're currently being developed, or maybe they're already done being developed, and Activision has already set this plan that they don't want there to just be remastered maps in 2025, if they're ready, why don't we just get them in 2024? Why are we still doing this MW 2019 Part 2, 2019 Part 3 bullshit, shenanigans, fucking horseradish, all this malarkey, and this fucking hoopla? Why are we doing this again? If it took 4 years to develop this next game, and some way, somehow, I'm just getting the impression already that we're cutting out some of the content that was supposed to be in 2024 and just stretching it across 2025, then what is the point in gassing yourself up talking about this next Call of Duty will have the most development time of 4 years? What is the point if we're not going to see all of that content right then and there? You see guys, the implications are just not good. And before you guys say, oh look, they gave you good news and you're still complaining, the entirety of this video literally proves otherwise. I'm not saying I'm some sort of prophet or that I predict everything correctly, but Call of Duty seems to tell me that that's the case. It's not my fault that I'm always fucking right. I don't want to be right, so I'm hoping I'm wrong. You guys think you're getting the upper hand on the Scadmaster by telling me I'm gonna be wrong and all this other shit, or telling me that I complain for views. The proof is in the pudding, guys. Black Ops 2030, or whatever the fuck it's gonna be called, it'll have a mix of new original maps at launch, because doing otherwise, where there's no original content at launch, that is a sure, easy way to get people uninterested in your game and have it become stale so unbelievably quickly. I remember when I made my beta review video for MW 2019 Part 3, and in the utter dog shit section, the section that I said would kill this game, I put 3 things in there: spawns, SBMM, and no original content. And you know what people told me? Why would you put no content in there? It seems like you're just hating to hate. You're trying to fill up the video with hatred. Yeah, and look where we are now. Once again, I'm not taking credit for this, but when you try to discredit the Scadmaster by saying I offer nothing but complaints and rants and all this other shit, once again, I may look stupid because I'm ahead of the time, but one day you'll catch up, alright? You might be slow right now, especially if you're a gooch licker. We know what kind of vehicle you're transported in, but one day, you'll catch up. Even slow motherfuckers catch up eventually. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. What do you guys think of these rumors about 2024 and 2025? And do you think the Scadmaster just babbles on these videos, or do you think I'm onto something? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
This ain't in my body.